This Muscle Sport Minute is being brought to you by HotStuffNutritionals.com. They are the title sponsor of Muscle Sport Radio, seen and heard every Monday on Instagram Live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Hadi Choopan, everybody is saying, let him compete, let him compete. I say, fuck no. You do not make exceptions to the rule. President Trump put the travel ban in place for a reason. And regardless if you think he's not going to do terrorist activities while he's in the U.S., which I don't believe he would, you cannot make exceptions, because if you make one exception, you're going to make two or more. And guess what? Now the fucking rule is useless. So he is far from the first athlete that is suffering from a political issue where he cannot ply his trade. Case in point, Enes Kanter, NBA center, 10-year veteran, now of the Boston Celtics, could not go to London last year when he was on the Knicks and they were playing a regular season game out there. And then later on, when he was on the Blazers, he could not go up to Canada to play the eventual finals champion Raptors because issues with his home country, Turkey. They pulled his passport. He spoke out against one of their leaders, and he took the opposition guy's side on social media. So there was a whole big to-do, a lot of nonsense. But basically, he was threatened, and they said that he would be arrested. So he was afraid to leave the U.S., kind of like that Assange guy in the holdup in the embassy over there. Kind of a similar situation. So Enes Kanter, a more recent example. And how many times have there been Olympic boycotts done? One of the more famous ones was the 1980 Summer Olympics in Moscow, Russia. The U.S. and a bunch of other countries boycotted because in 79 the Russians invaded Afghanistan. And then in turn, to get back at the U.S. in the 84 Summer Games in L.A., Russia and a bunch of the Eastern Bloc commie countries boycotted. Now you can go back to the 50s where it first started, and even in the famous Berlin Olympics of 1936, many countries, including the U.S., threatened to boycott if the host country, Germany, did not allow black and Jewish athletes to participate. If you remember, Jesse Owens, had some great feats and won a bunch of gold medals at those games in Nazi Germany at the time in 1936. So, Hadi, sorry, pal. You just happen to come from a country that hates the U.S. The U.S. hates them back. It's been going on for fucking decades, since 1979 mostly, with the 444 days hostage crisis. And it's amped up the past few weeks even with all of these oil tankers getting seized in the Strait of Hormuz over there. So a lot of bad blood with the U.S. and Iran. And just because Hadi Choopan is an Iranian bodybuilder cannot make an exception to this rule. Sorry, guys like Palumbo, Solomon, and Chickarillo who were quoted in the post. Great job, by the way, guys. That's to get the post. That's awesome, man. Kudos to you guys. And I know also. But sorry, Hadi, you're going to have to deal with it. Unfortunately, politics do get in the way of athletics, and you are far from the only example.